G'day guys and welcome to another cook up. Today we're going to do preserved bluefin tuna in some jars. Now I guarantee if you do this cook, it's going to be 10 times better than what you eat in a can. So in here we've simply put some warm water, we've diluted some salt until an egg floats to get our ratios right. We're going to simply put our tuna in, which we have chunked, which we caught on our last episode at Kangaroo Island. We're going to boil that for 3 hours, let it rest and then jar it up. So now we've loaded all our tuna into our saltwater broth. We're going to bring that up to the boil, back it off, let it simmer for 3 to 4 hours until it's all cooked. Okay, we're 3 hours in now, so let's check it out and see what's crack-a-lacking. Now you can see that's just on a rolling bubble, not a boil as such. All the oils there coming out. Oh, we've got a fog up. All the oils there are coming out the tuna. You will get some residual scum throughout the cook. Just want to skim that off and get it out of the water. I reckon we're probably ready to start getting the jars ready. So let's head in and get cracking on the jars. So we've probably got half an hour to get all our condiments ready and all our jars. So we've got some Australian grown fresh products here. We've got some oranges, got some limes, some lemons, we've got some jalapenos which we grew in our garden, got some chilies, some nice garlic. We've got some Spanish olive oil which will fill the jars once we do pack all that tuna in, and we've got some cracked pepper. So it's pretty simple. You can pretty much make up whatever you want to taste in the tuna and chuck the condiments in there. With the oranges and the lime, you only want to use the outer zest. You don't get too much pith in there. The jars themselves, we have sterilised them because you don't want any nasties in there while the tuna's sitting in the cupboard. And if you notice, I've numbered the lids so they get this right lid back on the right jar to get that good seal. Once they're all packed up, all flavoured up, we've got to boil it for 1 more hour. So I'll run you through everything when we get to that stage. Well, we got the whole fam bam on now. Got some happy helpers. How are we going to prep the garlic, Lacey, for the
we're going to stomp them, then we're just going to chunk them.
Chunk them up into bits?
Yep.
What are you doing on this one?
We just got to crush it, but it's a bit hard.
Need big muscles?
Yeah.
You'll get there. Good job. Alrighty, I reckon we're done. So it's just clocked over 3.5 hours. And you can really smell that aroma coming from the tuna, which to me says it's done. Now, hot tip. Cook this outside or else you'll be smelling tuna inside for about a week, I reckon. So you just want to gently get your chunks of tuna out now and let it rest and cool down in temperature. Now down the bottom I did put the heads in there. That just gives the tuna an extra bit of flavour. Once it's cooled down, it's time to jar up. Should I get rid of that fly?
Yes.
Our tuna's now cool to touch. We've condimented all of our jars. We've got all sorts going on. We've got lime and pepper, orange and pepper. We've got lemon and pepper. What have we got down here? Lime and chili, garlic and lemon, chili and garlic. We've got all sorts. Pretty much make it up as you go. All these leftover condiments, like our lime, lemon, orange, we're going to bake some cocktails or something with them, maybe some fruit juices. So now all we're going to do is lightly break up our tuna, chuck it all in our jars, put some condiments on top, and then fill it up with olive oil. Right, now to the packing. There is a little fine line between overpacking and underpacking. Overpacking, all those flavours won't go into the tuna. Underpacking, all you're going to do is use a lot of olive oil. So you want to push it in there firmly, but not too much. So on top of the jars, put your favourite condiment like you did on the bottom. Last of all, fill them up with olive oil. You will need to go back and forth a few times while the olive oil is draining down into the tuna. Right, the last thing we're going to do, put them back in the pot, return to the boil, reduce down to a simmer, and we're going to leave that for another hour. That will not only infuse all our flavours in the jar, but it will push all the air out, and then when they cool, we'll create our vacuum seal to preserve our tuna. Well, I think we're finished. We have been boiling away, or should I say simmering away, for an hour and a half now. Don't be alarmed if you do see oil residue on top of the water. That's just the jars doing their thing, pushing all that air out and creating our seal on the jars. Now for the hardest part, we've got to get them out of the hot water and let them rest on the bench. So please be careful. Well, that brings us to the end of the cook. Let the jars set aside, let them cool down. What you want to see is these lids depress. That one's already popped. That means it's got a good seal. This one here hasn't popped down. I hope it does. If it doesn't, I'm going to have to re-crack that, reseal it, re-boil it, potentially get another jar to get a good seal. Now these don't have to be refrigerated once they have a good seal. Set them aside in a dark, cool place and eat them at your leisure. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell me what you think. We'll see you next time.